it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
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 Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go. Yeah, let it go. Yeah, let it go. Help me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Yeah, help me let it go. Go, 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 go. Oh, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give your heart to Jesus. Let him take control. Just sit and watch it. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait, so you have to let it go. Your best friend is not your secret enemies. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live in zero, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if you say you will continue to be a zogo, if you say you will continue to be a prostitute, if you say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If you say your knee is borrow, Sunday go to meeting, mommy can say no, Johnny ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Help me let it go, man.
Yeah. Mighty blow. Holla. Nobody do it like you do it, you a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Genesis and they plenty in this new world. Read the power every day, that while I'm still a good boy. Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, he will make your blessing overflow. To be the best among the rest, you gotta pray more. The God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of mighty blow. But there is power in your blood, that while I'm giving praises. Yes. I gotta dance that David dance, they think I'm getting crazy. But love is how you make it, brother, may not be history. Every time I sin, I'm on my knees, begging God for mercy. Thank you for your love, blessing, and forgiveness. You solved my problem, Lord. You took me from the wilderness. That's true. Only you can feel my struggle when I'm really stressed. So my papa bless me, then my enemy they get it best. No matter what the problem is, man, just let it go. Your delay is not your denial. Everybody know. Just keep on trusting in Jehovah. He will give you more. He took me from the grass. He can take you from the rock and roll. Yeah.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Oh, let it go.
Let it go. Lord, help me let it go.
Your people are suffering, lying in the hospital, suffering from all kinds of sickness, Lord. Lord, help them. That sickness that reviving you, I say, let it go. The barrenness, pack your load and go. Living the life of joblessness, let it go. I say you spirit of suppression, let it go. Spirit of denial, spirit of depression, let it go, man. Oh, I'm tired. Pack your load and go. If you're picking, take your chemo, let it go. Your best friend take your horse, man. Whatever. If your wife say we are not compatible, let her go. Your husband say you not matter.
All right, folks.
Just let it go.
We want to welcome you. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your evening with us here. This is Friday's editions of Panel Live with the panelists, and very shortly we're going to be having a conversation here this evening as part of our community commitment to this network and the people of Liberia and as well as the community. Until then, stay tuned. We will get this program going very shortly.
Oh, mama, they don't want to pay. You are become a boo-boo man.
Okay, good evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. Thank you for sharing your evening. It's actually a wet evening here in the East Coast. That's the beauty of New England. The weather here is just unpredictable. When you think it is all gone, oh, nothing is guaranteed. Well, we are back again here this evening. We're going to be having a wide range of conversations, but we will be looking at the political gaming. Is it a game, or is he finding the political accommodations within the politics of Liberia? As usual, Senator Prince Yomi Johnson, the senior senator who prefer himself as a kingmaker, right? Is in the news, and he's been in the news for quite a while now, so that's quite interesting. So we're going to be having that conversation as well, and many other news making headlines. So we want to welcome you as usual. Your participation is always welcome here. Mr. Bounds, our own contributor, Kotojala to Randolph Keta from the Constitution State. Welcome, that is unfolding. Getting some news from our sister network. Some of the panelists taking off the tie, putting away the microphone. We yet to authenticate this news. It's a Facebook post and release, but we like to verify this information when it comes. I'll reach out to most of them, but I yet to get a confirmation as to what those posts or these release is on their signatures or whatever the situation. No matter what the situation is, we're going to be having that conversation. We are also hearing that Mr. Waterspoon is expected to appear again early April. All of these news and other news making headlines in Liberia. One of our senior contributors is here. OJ is already here, joining us from the liberal state of California. So let's see here and have the conversation going here as well. And the rest of the folks, the link is already out there. So let's see what we can have. I am Alfonso Zienso. Welcome. The race has, the polity has dominated the conversations in Liberia. And it's hard to just kind of like play blind eyes to it, because politics seems to be the one as a driving force that regulates all of our activities. So it's a great thought and big introduce of our daily lives. And so we have to always discuss that and see what is happening and what we need to know in Liberia. 234 days to go to the presidential and legislative elections in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. This is where the guys want to go to. Maybe some of their offices will be on the 8th floor or the 4th floor. They will determine when they are elected. Welcome to the conversations. Let me bring in OJ here, and we can have the ball rolling while the rest of the guys join the talking point here this evening. Okay, here we go. OJ, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you, Mr. So?
Great, great, great. How is Saxton?
I'm in LA.
LA. All
Yes.
right. You know, the liberal is on our side, so it's kind of always used to us. So how things on our end?
LA is good. You know, this past 2 weeks has been very busy. We had Grammy weekend, We also had the Super Bowl weekend. So I do media. So
Yeah.
whenever there is like an event in LA, it's very busy over the
Yes, it
weekend
is. That's
for
a,
media
I mean,
personnel.
naturally, the name itself is a clear interpretation. It's a busy area, and that's
Yeah.
where all of the big guns, Hollywood, all
Hmm.
the big names in the media industry. So, what was the event you hosted during the weekend? You said?
So for Grammy Weekend, I actually went to an event where they were honoring all the African Grammy nominations. So like
Wow.
Eddie Fonzo was there. He's a Ugandan artist. There was also this Jamaican guy who was he was a nominee for a Grammy. So it was like a big old industry party. So that was over the weekend. I went there, did some media, and then we had the Super Bowl weekend as well. Even though it was in Arizona, there was a lot of hi, Miss Corto. There was a lot of like events in LA as well. So it was very busy for all the media personnel.
Wow. So how these events usually, it's how you really got connected to all of these, I don't know. I don't know how you got this pull out. Yeah, I'm kind of a little bit curious here. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I first moved to LA, I was pretty much a freelance media correspondent. So what I
Hmm.
used to do was I would reach out to like media platforms. I was like, "Hey, I'm a media correspondent. Here's my reel. If you're looking for a correspondent, so I will, initially reach out." And then later on, I just created my own platform. I created Glow Report Media. So whenever there is an event, you can apply for a media pass or a press pass.
Wow.
And then yeah, so it's typically first come first serve. They also take a look at like how your page is running. If your page aligns with what they're looking for, then they typically grant you a media pass. So it's very
Wow.
easy to get media passes. Like LPR can definitely get a media pass. You guys are, it's very renowned. You have a lot of followers and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, but we have the liberal there who is just on the other side of the world. Probably I don't know how we can do it, but we can talk that behind the scene. But it's important. I don't think we should limit ourselves, on it to Liberia. We try as much as possible to create this connection. That's what media is all about, networking, and I
Yes.
bring people on different people on board to enhance the messagings of the network. I think, okay, that's something we hope to consider. Other than that, how is everything so far here and that? What the guys are coming? And interestingly, there will be another Thai lady
Hi,
added to
Cindy.
this network. We try to broaden the scope of this network. So someone great going to be coming to this network. I was really, let me just do a little bit quick housekeeping here. Um, and we're going to get this conversation going. Yeah, it's right away. So you're going to be seeing different stuff here as we try to. How can Sissy came in there? I can't spell the word I'm supposed to spell. I can't spell contributor. Is it Sissy replacing the laborer on this network here?
Uh-oh.
I don't understand. Something not going right.
But none of the analysts here today would have so low class people here so contributed here today.
Everybody here, it doesn't matter. Contributor, analyst, and we got to change it. In fact, we
And you
need.
know how the analysts sound real educated, right? OJ, it's an analyst. He say, yeah, but we don't get
Right.
it.
You know what? Okay, so by
But
popular
the
demand,
KBC people,
we need to,
we can
we
jump
need to,
people clear.
this guy, he tries to be the trouble child on this network here now. And when the fire began to blaze, then he pulled back quietly.
You
Okay,
know how
so
many people came in my inbox for that thing that happened the other night?
you met this
One of
guy had
me,
a
they keep
miserable
talking on
night.
my back like
It's unbelievable. So say you it's something. Okay, guys. Let me just do some quick housekeeping here. Good evening. Welcome, Madam Cotto, the Balayan, Sissy Goya. Let's do this here. Let's see in here. Sissy say we should modify the thing, and there's no reason for which we can modify because everybody, the work here is amazing. So we need to modify ASAP before some people start filing in protest. People quick to have protestation before Sissy start leading a protest group here on this network. Okay, guys, good evening. How is Sissy? How is everything, man? How's the weather on our side? All of a sudden, we just had a change here. New England here is just crazy.
It's been the same the last 2 days. We went from summer-like weather where we were in the 30s and 35. And I know it sounds weird when we say summer-like for 35. I see
Yes,
OJ.
I was like, summer-like weather, 30, 35.
That is barbecue weather here in Minnesota.
Oh my God, that's too cold.
Yesterday and today has been freezing. It's been like just single digits. So today, when I got up this morning, it was 2 degrees to go to work. And then when I was coming back, it warmed up a little bit to about 18, 19 degrees. So it's been a little crazy.
And out in Minnesota there, man, I went there the other day. I was just like, let it program get over with it. Let me get
Mikey wouldn't even do anything. He was so much just in-house on the cold. I was like, what kind of makeup a New England's kind of cold like this?
Oh, that place there is something. Okay, guys. How is everything? Why is Chris Christo? Is he still, what he said, Governor Chris, is he still in New Jersey then?
I hardly hear about him these days. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, the politicians, yes, it's everywhere. When it comes out of that, by the time you look.
No, but Chris Christie is appointed on
yeah, he contributed. Is that ABC or
ABC? And he probably will be running again this year for the Republican nomination.
Wow. Okay. Like I said,
that bridge team really silencing. I don't know.
Every politicians, there's a shortcoming to politicians, and this is why you got to be very, very, very careful. But I can tell you, in a short while, we will announce another young, smart lady willing to share her expertise. We'll try to make it more proportional, balanced, make all voices heard, and that's the beauty of LPR. No one should be left behind, especially when it comes to discussing Liberia, be it social, political, economic, infrastructure. And so we'll try to tap in the expertise of people that are doing extraordinary well. And there's a need that they share their narrative, their story, to the hope that it will perfect. And, I will leave it hook. I know Cece knows what already, but we're going to leave it hanging as appropriate times. We're going to announce that. And so, don't give these guys chance, because they try to be like the louder guys in this network here, the Amos George and Samson Toe, and the other guy calling himself pro-government supporter. I don't know why he doesn't want to tell her exactly who he is and what he represents. That's the man.
Oh, you mean the man I can do the hit and run? No, man, he can call on the phone, then he put me in trouble. He said, "I'm not going to see this," and then he get off the phone and go to a different thing.
There you go. Okay. Let's have a conversation yet. A lot is ongoing. I try to verify. News is all about news, things that are happening, right? So I try to verify this news yet regarding our own sister network as well. We are hearing most of the contributors resigned. Have you seen that release, Sissy?
No, I seen what amounts to gossip. I haven't seen an official release.
Yeah, I reach out to multiple of them now, but I yet to get confirmation.
I like to be careful how.
Yes, Facebook people do all kinds of things. So,
but were they being paid though? Because if it was a paid position, and then now you don't get an income, then yeah, I can see why they leave. But if it was like what we do here, where it is unpaid, then would it really matter if the CEO is no longer on the platform? I don't know.
You're taking pay, me, I'm taking pay.
Oh, really?
And
OJ, you getting paid? Oh, that's the party people getting paid on their platform.
UP, yeah.
You're trying to start trouble on this network. You're getting me into Lions Day. You're trying to drag me into Sissy here this Friday. Today is Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Don't do this to me. I beg you.
You scared of UP trouble?
Yeah, I mean, I don't put me into a situation I can't handle. Yeah. So okay, let's get on the national front. Our guy, your guy, Uruguay, right? That's how they call him, right? Yoruba.
Prince Yoruba Johnson.
Yeah, there's a big political gaming is ongoing to right now. Having meeting with Koto friend, Ambassador Jose Numa Boyka.
Yes.
And interestingly, I've been listening to some of the sound by some of the network of that support Ambassador Boyka, which of course they had the right, but the conversation, the language, the tone now is being modified. Those words that were used to give a good descriptions of Prince Johnson, and so one of them said, "In crisis like this, you have to make a political sacrifice." So we don't know, but let's look at the history of this guy here. And I want to start with you here, Koto, and we can discuss a wide range of issue here. Um, Ambassador Boyka, is he making a good calculation here? What is going on? But Prince Johnson seems to be what are you serious? But you can't relate this guy. It's hard to put your life to put your hair on the chopping board for him, because when he doesn't get his way, forget it. It's for you today, tomorrow, nothing is guaranteed. What is the conversation you guys that support these people? What are you guys hearing? What are you hearing from your end? What was the basis of the conversation? This seems to be kind of tight-lipped.
Well, thank you, Mr. So. I'd like to say hi to you, Mr. So. OJ, been a while. Yeah. And my brother Sissy. And the people of Liberia, to whom we are here to discuss the issues, And, thank you, Mr. So. We are in a political season, and politics, as we know, is normal.
So let me do this here, not to interrupt you. Let's look at some of his soundbite, all right? And let's listen, and then maybe we'll know what to say. Let's listen a little bit. Is it audible?
No.
Okay, hold on one second. Let's hold on. Let me. Okay, go ahead. I think maybe I will have to bring in the video here itself and see. Let's see a little bit what he's trying to say here. Let's see here. Okay, let's hold on one second. Let's see here. This is courtesy to about Sister Network Television, KMTV. Let's listen here. Hopefully,
BSc immediately. In 2 years after that, master. That, you here? He will come. He's the president of the university, Dr. Gonza Mantare. Okay, so I only brought you for the development. When you want top quality, I'll be a Yaka Koloba. I will give it to you. Well, when I was in Nigeria in exile, preparing to come back home, I was contemplating on what to be done. What would be my contribution in the development of post-war Liberia? And so the Lord spoke to me that the war is over.
okay. This is sufficient. The Lord spoke to him. I mean, we can't. There's no direct telephone line to validate his argument, what the Lord told him, what exactly he needs to do here. But this is the guy. He took President Weah, introducing, held his hand, paraded to Nemayans that his strongholds, politically he's strong, nothing that we can, that's nothing that, whether we like it or not, that's something we can't just easily ignore. I mean, it is what it is. I am looking to see who can really get him off there. But I don't know if it holds between he and Boyka, whether he going to coin his words introducing Ambassador Boyka, if all goes well, because his language towards Alexander Cummings, I don't see it. But who knows? I mean, he said it. Listen to the Sister Network. He says his mission now is to unify the opposition unify the opposition. So who knows? He's going to be pivoting into a lot of great stuff here. So I want to welcome Dr. George Toto as well. So Koto, let me just come back. Let's come back here.
Yeah, like I was saying, when we talk about politics, we talk about your platform, your sales of your we talk about the sales of your platform, and this is what we are right now. Your ideology right now, we asking people who will support the ideology of Ambassador Boycott. So if Prince can deem it why to come and support the platform, we are like other Liberians, we are calling on everybody to come and fall under the umbrella of Ambassador Barker to take Liberia from where it is. And we all know that our country is going astray right now. And it takes everyone, contribution to make Liberia better. So it cannot be done in astray. It has to be done in collaboration with other teams. And as we know, Prince Johnson has a political party. He is just not an individual. He holds an institution that he is part of, and we need, those people behind him to contribute to the Liberians. And as we can see, Prince Johnson is a Liberian, and for now, he needs to be taken in. He needs to be accepted until whatever he has to go through. Like many people saying that he has TRC hanging over him, for which we all know. And when that time comes, he definitely will go and face whatever allegation upon his head. But as we can speak for now, we want all of the Liberians to be, united in order to get from what the mess we are in today. And that cannot be done in isolation with dealing with Prince Johnson. There is no way you can isolate it in the process. He is a stakeholder, and we can take any time to talk with him. And the thing about it is, you don't know the man who comes to talk to you. You have to give him the audience, and that's what he's getting right now. They talk to it left for what he's saying, if it is good or bad to be accepted. And I know Ambassador Barker, that I know, he will know how to filter what Prince is coming with. And in that process, he's going to filter and take what is good, and what is not good, he dash it out. So I think that's the gameplay right now. You can't tell him, you can't isolate Prince Johnson and say, you can't talk with me. So we need everybody. We need to talk to everybody. Even Josh Weah, we will want him to come on the United Party because he can win. Let him come and support Ambassador Barker, because this is a time that we have to take our Liberia, Liberia from the situation it's in, to deliver it to a better state. Because as we speak now, Liberia is not in a state of mind that we can consider as, Liberian, to say our country is in a better position. So to deliver it, we need everybody coming together to honor our unity, or honor the umbrella of the Unity Party, honor Ambassador Barker to deliver Liberia from where it is.
Yeah. Sometimes politicians find it difficult when the message is kind of a little bit dicey here. But okay, so Dr. Toto. You got to unmute your mic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Is Tiawan Gonglo also reaching out in a sense that Tiawan, Councillor Gonglo, kind of came to it was in his defense, the issue with the church issue with the president as well, he asking the government, and that because Senator Prince Johnson is a stakeholder, and those are grave concern that he needs to do something that, if his life is threatened. So does that mean he's having a conversation with him behind the scene that we don't know about?
Yeah, unfortunately, let me just say that even though I support the ideology of Tiawan Gonglo to support the presidential quest to be president of Liberia, but I do not support some of the decisions that he made. When they're talking to Prince Johnson on that, I do not support some of those stuff he do. Personally, if I look at Prince Johnson, I think Prince Johnson had no relevant voice in Liberia. if at all we want to put people for impunity in Liberia, it should start from the political party. Not just one of the sitting government, but those that aspire to be president for Liberia also too. They should be able to uphold the TRC recommendation, whether that be implemented or not. So for Ambassador Walker, they want to go, they all have a conversation with Prince Johnson. I think this is where the boss up at. When they become president tomorrow, the same promise that President we are saying some time ago that he's not the only one that should do this. They will come up and make the same statement again now about what they want us to implement the TRC. So this discussion they have with Prince Johnson, not just empty discussion having Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson trying to buy his way through there. And at the end of the day, when they become leader for Liberia, the TRC recommendation will now be implemented, and that is out from the beginning. So Prince Johnson, for me, Prince Johnson have no relevant. He's not even relevant in the Liberia political scene. No political institution so we identify with this guy here. If you want to run election to be elected by the poor Democrat, then you go wrong. Then you run. Then you be elected. That's the people choice. But for political party organization be engaging Prince Johnson to get votes, to get support for food, and today, I mean, to me, this is totally wrong. It's totally wrong to the thousands of people that are killed in the war in Liberia, people that lost and left innocent because of Prince Johnson's order. They're not even supposed to be set to a platform set to discuss about future of Liberia. If they want to run, let it run. If the people elected, let it be elected. We saw the people that we saw recently, those that are being indicted by the U.S. Treasury Department. If somebody running campaign, they say want to be represented, let them go. If the people elect them, so be so. But for us to engage in a constructive political environment, I think it is wrong for the political institution like Liberia to break out to even have an audience with Prince Johnson. Whether he's a stakeholder or not, he not even supposed to have an audience with himself. That's my position on it. It was completely wrong.
So you're on a different side of history, which is okay, good. All right. Let me bring your man. I'm not sure whether you're going to form an alliance this evening. You guys support Councilor Tiawon Gonglo. OJ, let's leave these people here. You still are undecided person, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, have you come to the? Have you made a decision now?
I have not, to be honest. You know.
Okay, so you know what we'll do?
Join me, OJ. Don't mind
Can
him.
you?
Don't mind him. Don't mind him.
Hold your peace. He has a sir. She get her pick. This other guy here, he also get his sir, and the man from Minnesota, the Liberal City Minnesota politician, he get his pay. Let's see whether he's in agreement with his guy that both of them support Councilor Tiawon Gonglo. Cece, let me bring you in here. You being involved and you are still involved this politics here. Some sort of political gaming is going on here. We saw Prince Johnson out of the sudden, he decided to go into retirement. I don't know whether it's a real retirement politics, but he brought his son, the guy he called his son, Senator Jeremiah Cohn. But he's very forceful. He's speaking out now. And the last time I listened to him, he said, well, if he had his own way, he would get a Cohn. But he's not going to tell Boyka. But if he had his own way, Cohn should be the vice president. What is the strategy behind all of what is unfolding now, regardless of this sort of hot political wire ongoing with the ruling establishment? What is he looking for, you think?
So let me address something, then I get to your question. It's the issue of Tiawon Gonglo, whether he will get the virus, the ANC-nism, this thing where you explain away things as they get closer to you, but when they're farther away from you, you strike at it. And I think the Unity Party, as expressed by my sister Koto, finally got that virus. I think you didn't cover your nose enough when Cummings came to visit you, you got a virus. Look, a few months ago, we were on this platform beating the ANC. Koto joined me when we beat the ANC for having Daniel Che. We beat the ANC for Cummings elevating Daniel Che to that level. We beat the ANC for Cummings elevating Louis Browning because that were ANC only commandos. Now Koto is here talking about we will wait, and then when the time comes, if the TRC say this, then we'll do that. What they saying, the ANC were dancing, and they were beating them. So apparently, the papa talk, it can just come on when you get an ANC-ism, this political virus. Look, in this country, there have been politicians that have rejected endorsement from people that they felt that did not have the moral compass for them to have a link with. There are people who have refused and rejected endorsement of white supremacists and KKK people who can bring people out to vote in red states. You have to have a spine as a politician. And right now, what I see from my own uncle, in America, that's what I can talk now, is he's showing that he doesn't have the spine. He doesn't. So the whole explaining things away when PYJ were George Weah, it was horrible. When the ANC went out and brought in Daniel Chair to be an advisor, and it was horrible. We beat them. But now Prince Johnson was trying to explain it. Oh, you know, when the TNC, if they win, whatever he bring, if they do that, then we do that. Let's stop doing anything to the brain people. What Councillor Tiawan Gonglo said the last time, and I disagree with him, and I'm going to say this here so for a point, when you talked about Louis Brown not being the best person to go out there advocating because Louis Brown had done some wrong within the Liberian civil crisis. I do not believe that Tiawan Gonglo will go back and go support a Prince Johnson to come and sit down and have a political alliance. To your point, though, Tiawan Gonglo has always preached for the rights of all Liberians, regardless that your due process right and your constitutional right should be protected. That is the reason the likes of Moba Molu were built out of jail, out of prison, and defended by Tiawan Gonglo. That is the reason a lot of journalists, a lot of people today who bad mouth someone say Gonglo got him out of jail because he still believes that their rights should be protected. So yes, you will talk about Prince Johnson's rights being protected, but I tell you this, the guy I know, they still won't say Gonglo I know. You will not have me coming back on the platform to do the dancing, and my sister Koto trying hard to do here today to kind of justify him bringing somebody like a Prince Johnson to a table and say, yo, you can win election, you got to be married to the quote-unquote devil that was last year, but now apparently we can dance around it. I think it's absurd. I think it's a disrespect to the Liberian people. If we believe that we will bring people on who have been accused of the most culpability in the Liberian Civil War, and said they will support us today, but tomorrow we take them to court and we will prosecute them. That is fallacy. The VP needs to show spine. This is a kissing man, my uncle. Pretend either you kissing man for 1 minute, get some spine, and take some decision. He didn't take that decision when the Unity Party in America was split. When the vice president here in Minnesota was overthrowing the president, he sat on there and allowed that thing to go. Last time I called George Lobo to it, and he danced around it. This is the same lack of political spine. It's almost like we're taking George Weah out, we'll bring the old man in, and he will bring his own Nathaniel Magay, he will bring his own Jefferson Koji. They will not just be Jefferson Koji, it will be different, but they'll do the exact same thing. This is bad for the Liberian body politics. We have to call a spade a spade. We can support people and still disagree when they make wrong decisions.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Yeah. Don't let this guy carry your cholesterol and your pressure.
No, hold on. You don't get it straight.
Kodro, you are going to be coming to you. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm going to be coming to you. Okay, OJ is on the pause. Okay, as you know, LPR always like the voice view, so we're going to have some visitor chipping in here. Let him do it. Let him jump part of the conversation here. But let me bring the ANC diehard, Amos George. I'm not sure whether he's going to be a good friend with Joy Toto and Cecil Goya here this evening. But I know Amos George is a bullet point guy too. Let me bring in Amos George. Our own man, Prince Kamara, one of our diehard followers, he's here this evening. So let's see here. I don't know which party he's for or which party he supports, but we're asking him.
Violence.
Damn, that's how you gonna welcome him to the show, CZ. You're supposed to be a good friend and a brother, man.
Oh, if you don't know, so say you will know tonight. When you're chatting online and doing stuff, you think say you wait and see Jenna, the alligator, the carrier to eat your own baby. So
I can notice that. I can notice that. I'm being ate already.
Okay, so Prince, Prince, good evening. Welcome by sharing the evening with us here. I will be coming to you here. Amos George.
Yeah.
Well, you having 2A?
No, I listen to you. You call me. You
Oh, okay.
anything.
But the way you answer, I don't know whether the Sisse Naki you to Swatili or whatever. Okay, let's see here. Accountability, there are a lot of things. And I've said this, politicians, Liberian politicians, they are unwilling to take a political risk. I'm seeing most of the other network now, people are reconstructing people's voice, try to modify it, try to put it in the mirror and stuff. Yes. The ambassador, former Vice President Joseph Newman boycott, the bitterness with Prince Johnson and the Unity Party, to see it to be so fast growing like this, that is quite interesting. I want to comments too should not even be off the radar because comment they support his foundation, give good bucks. So I don't know wapina winhi, I don't know. But and what do you make of those conversations?
Let me say this. When the ANC named Louis Brown and Daniel Chia on this platform, I say I disagree with the decision that the leader of the ANC took. Cicero Oye, I think Dr. Toto Oye, I said I disagree with it. But I say that's the decision of the party, but personally for me, no. And Madam Koto Oye, bash honorable comments. Louis Brown, where there's no evidence that he ever instructed someone to kill someone, but there have been allegations leveled against him. My brother sister even said something about Daniel Chia. Later when he came back to retire, he said, "Oh no, the story I got about Daniel Chia, he was even placed on a horse arrest." But I did not have that information when I was making the comments. Now, that what we call people being sincere, genuine, and honest. I support Mr. Cummings, but I said I disagree with his decision at the time. And I still stand by it. So, for Madam Koto here, to be playing the Kakalika, we all play behind, we play Nafo, we play Blade, then she kind and start playing the Kakalika dance with us. Then I wonder, you got Madam Koto, at least you would have said that decision, even I disagree with my party, then of course, you will give us some room to say, okay. But yeah, now, you talk about inclusiveness of everybody in Liberia. But when Honorable Cummings named Louis Brown, and there was no room for that. There was no room for that. But meeting with Prince Johnson now, that one, he's not a player in Liberia. You cannot leave nobody out. This is not the Liberia we want. We want a Liberia that will be able to look at our leader and say, yes, I support you, but this decision, I disagree with you. And these are my reasons. But today, all of you people are not dancing. And then how do we expect to change this country if we cannot look at people that we support to say no, and this decision you took, no, I disagree with you. Even though you're my leader, but I disagree with you. And we should do it in the public, not only behind closed door. I say, yeah, because John is a good man. But I have a problem because I have the people here. A woman in the party wrote a Facebook to overthrow, asking the AFL to overthrow the government. Up to now, Councillor Gonglo had not spoken against that lady. Cesar came on the platform and said, I strongly disagree. Even I called somebody. That told her never say anything.
Oh boy.
So, what the people you support, when the boy is in your court, then it's okay. But when the other people fought, then that one you want to turn it around. That Councillor Gonglo he never commented on that. So up to today, and I still asking you people, especially that the total, what happened to that statement that woman made? And he never said a word, and no official, no executive from that party said no. We asked them maybe to retract the statement. Nobody said anything. Everybody went quiet and okay with it. But if it is the ANC, they want to push us in the ocean. But at least some of us can call on our leader and say this one is wrong. And tonight, Madam Koto is here. She's okay with that.
Yeah.
Then the question comes to mind.
What a crowded horse this evening.
The question that comes to
all I had to do was to call Keto Neo. I said, make you do that by you show us straight.
The question that comes to mind, what will happen tomorrow? Honorable Bogger is in the White House. There's a march. Then it will be the same old song. So please, you explain to us where people want to take this country. If you cannot call on your leaders when they make mistakes, where you want to take this country, and what will be the yardsticks that will be using to measure other people? Because the Basel person, they've been born in the eyeball like this. Then what you want to be born?
I think we have a crowded house here, so
You,
let's keep it to the point. Thank you so much. The
so
pro-governance.
that what you shaking your head for?
Can you elevate?
You finish talking your tea and said nothing.
Wait a minute. Mr. John, what you for?
OJ, let me bring you in here to unmute your microphone. I think you are listening a while. You say you're still an undecided person, right? Which way? But here we are. Political correctness. We cry, we beat on George. We are in the CDC of variety of things. And then people are given that sort of easy pass now. So I don't know how their case is going to be, how they're going to argument their case when a real time comes, how they're going to really point out and say, this is what. Because the CDC definitely going to be firing by. So, and I know President Johnson is giving his support. There must be something. There's a give and take, and that's the work of politicians. Politicians, there's a bargaining chip. I give you a support. This is what I expect in return. If you want to be friendly with Prince Johnson, Senator Prince Johnson, don't talk anything that has to do with War Crown Code, because he said it's not coming and it's not going to come. With this here, we are heading into election period. The Liberian people, it seems to be, they are confused now. So the electors confused which way to go, who is the real change agent, who is coming to be the Messiah now. At that point is unknown. Everybody trying to hold on to any little thing now so they can draw. When you see this sort of conversation going on, what comes to mind with respect to the future of our country? And we think that we want to get things done the rightful way.
So even though I am undecided, I am leaning towards Alexander Cummings.
Whoa.
I am. I haven't made
you didn't see that ever since?
Huh?
Did you see that coming?
Please don't start trouble. Don't start trouble.
One time ago, I did that one time ago. So
do you post the perception? Do you put right perception in the opposition?
I do that something. That's something new.
Okay, let her carry on her point.
A lot of
I am leaning. I was very impressed. I was extremely impressed by what he had to say. I just love his stance and how he speaks. His vision for Liberia aligns with my, personal views. We have other strong candidates. Don't get me wrong. Medela is one of them. We have other strong candidates, but because I've actually, met Alexander Cummings, listened to him, I feel like he will definitely take Liberia to new heights and just bring change that we need. But I'm not 100% sold. So don't mark my words. I'm still debating. So I may jump on another bandwagon. So don't mark my words. But in terms of Mr. Prince Johnson, I did a little research on him. I'm not the biggest fan of former rebels. And just doing some research, I learned that this gentleman had something to do with the killing of Samuel Doe. And I do believe in reform, but seeing somebody like Senator Prince Johnson, he has no business being in politics to begin with. I know I'm rushing some feathers right now. It's just it's very concerning to see a former rebel who was responsible for killing millions of Liberians. You know, I would have easily been born in Liberia and raised in Liberia, but because of the Civil War, I was born in another country. I had to leave my beloved country and grew up in another country. So I am not a fan of anybody who has something to do with the war. So that's my stance on Mr. Prince Johnson.
So when you see the former vice president, before I go to the two gentlemen, when you see the former vice president having politicians' conversations around political issue in line with presidential election, clearly somebody asking someone for support. When you see this happening here, is there any hope in terms of, we want the justice, we want things to change, we want charter different course? But here is the guy now having political conversations. I mean, he's not just going to go speak to Blacker and that's all about it. So what should we be concerned with if they are to come to a conclusion to emerge? But he's speaking out. Prince Johnson don't need anything behind the scene anyway. He said he's going to give his support and they're going to do everything to get CDC out. So what do you make of that?
You know, we just have to wait and see. I don't know too much about Prince Johnson, so I don't want to, say the wrong thing or, give the wrong opinion. But I'm just going to easily observe and see how they plan to execute taking over CDC. It's going to be interesting to see. Okay. I definitely believe that CDC definitely needs to get out of office. I don't see George Weah again being president for another term. He has run his time, and it's time to move on to a different candidate who can take Liberia to where it needs to be. So if Prince Johnson's the man, which I don't think he is, capable of running out CDC, we'll just have to see. But I hope he's not going to run and take over CDC. Okay. Maybe it's Alexander Cummings. Who knows?
Cummings really filtering out here.
California. So our janitor probably has spoken to her. What's happening to say?
Let me bring in Prince. Good evening. Welcome sharing the evening here with us.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to finally be in you guys' company. And, I'm looking forward to bringing the heat as usual. I'm normally in the comment section, comment out people. And I'm finally a panelist. So I'm looking forward to, for the challenges.
Okay. So
the man is the president for the National Commenters Association.
I agree.
Welcome, Prince.
That's the strategy.
My pleasure.
He's trying now to get you in his column. You see that he's making this sort of thing. So let's establish your identity. Have you decided have you made a political pick with respect to what is happening in Liberia, Prince? Just for our audience to know, so that they can also be. Have you decided who you think should be the president of the Republic of Liberia comes 2023? As an individual?
I've been observing the political arena, and I've been a part of it on a certain level. And I got truly really involved during the impeachment process of Councilor Janet during a few years ago. But based on my observation, visiting Liberia 2 years ago, I was actually there for 10 months, about 11 months actually.
Wow, that's
and I related to the people on ground. So when people sit on social media and just tell us that, we think this candidate is better, you have to relate to the people on ground, which I went there and did. So at this point, it is pretty clear that it is no secret that my support is to President George Weah, which is well deserving. And there's a lot to show for. It is not, I wouldn't say it is 100%, but like he said in his words, we've been doing it and we still got more to do. So I'm looking forward to being a part of the people, the independent-minded people that will be a part of the more to do. And I'm a human rights consultant and advocate, so I'm part of the process. I'm one of the people that Prince Johnson's destroy the future. You know, Mr. So knows me. He knows a little about my family background. My dad's a very popular figure in Liberia. Well, he's deceased. So I mean, I'm no kid. I'm just resurfacing back into Liberia affairs, but I'm pretty much cognizant of what's going on.
Okay, I'd like to go much deeper because we are also obligated to give our audience, our viewers, a clear sense of our conversation. So entertainment is at a very minimal scale on this network here. This guy from Connecticut, from Constitution, say he came here, attached a nomenclature pro-government GOL supporter. Is he a sedition? He's not a sedition. He has a right to revolt, empty, or so. Are you a sympathizer, or are you a kind of person of his type pro-government supporter, or are you a sedition?
I am not a sedition. I believe in bipartisan politics. I believe in doing the right thing. I mean, like I said, I will pledge my support to President Weah. And as far as on the senatorial level and the representative level, I've had my eyes on a few people already and some new people. We've definitely got to reshuffle the house. And, there's a lot of pagayers in there. So we definitely got to get our acts right. It is the first branch of government, and based on the Constitution of Liberia, it is a direct representation of the people. So that should be the area of focus on moving forward or improving the life and the situation in our country.
Wharton Ketter, I saw you cheering like a grand finale of the World Cup is being won.
Before Wharton says something, can we agree that Wharton will not speak today and run away and go? They hit and run, got to stop today.
I'm yet to stay.
Now, Wharton, you have some help because I've heard you're a constitutionalist and I'm a nationalist. I'm a realist as well. So I mean, I'm very vocal, and this should be fun and entertaining. I expected somebody here to take on the challenges, as you know, from the ANC, but he's not here. So maybe I'll catch him another day.
You got one sitting next to you.
Who is that person?
Pop George.
Pop George is starting to have a reawakening, so he's more on the we want to do the right thing, so we got to push Mr. Cummings to do the right thing. So I got to give Pop George a break.
I think this is getting interesting here, and I think we are getting to the balance of we are getting to the equilibrium of this sort of conversation. So Ketter, let me just bring you. You were cheering.
I'm just looking for you. You are human rights activist.
Hey, Papi,
you are human rights activist.
Mr. Come in 1 second, guys.
I'm sorry for walking out. Yes, Pop George. Yes, I am. I'm a human rights consultant.
Yeah,
let's very vocal in the political scene.
Yeah, let me go to Mr. George.
Okay.
Yeah, let's.
I just want to make sure I heard. It's not my time. Yes, I think I said it's not my time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the exchange because I have records on you guys, playing with Prince Johnson and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to to those challenges.
Oh boy. Wharton Ketter.
I'm here.
Very long.
A lot of Prince has made a night tonight, right?
Oh my God, you don't even know.
Oh boy.
Welcome, Prince. Welcome, Prince.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine.
I was the lone soldier around here, and they used to gang on me with the exception of my own brother, Cisse, who gave me a little text that I stay in your corner here, so I understand what's going on. But yeah, happy to be back. I'm here to stay tonight. And have a fruitful discussion on Liberia. You asked a question, a general question about Prince Johnson.
All right, somebody gets something on. I'm getting a feedback. Is anybody monitoring, listening to something? Maybe you want to. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So you introduced the whole topic with Prince Johnson, the Unity Party. I said on this show before. Okay. So and the rest of the panelists here.
1 second here. Can everybody else just mute themselves as a background stuff?
Somebody. I don't know.
Let's just mute ourselves.
Yeah.
what I mean is,
yeah, somebody mute us up, please.
When I mean
I'm trying to see here.
Is it from my end?
Yeah, I think it's from your end, Prince.
What are you guys hearing?
Somebody talking
Somebody
about
carry
I don't know what is it.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I'll take care of that. I'm sorry. That is.
Let me just get you off the stream. When you come back, I will see if you want to take care of that. That's okay. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I said on this show before, 2 counties that there's a big myth about now. I know that Mr. Bwaka is in control of Lofa County. He's the godfather. The Lofian will go for him regardless, whatever. I told you guys that Lofa County is a battle zone. Nima County also is becoming blue. I told you people. Prince Johnson going to Mr. Bwaka to hold consultation, to mend the relationship after he called this man dead man walking, the man carrying battery. He can't be president like Liberia with battery, but he going to this man to sit with him and talk with him to solidify or come together as a coalition or a group to move to the we are. I think it's late. It's completely late to see the movement of the blue wave in Lofa County and this late day and age for he to go over there. It's just counterproductive when I don't like to even sit down and talk about it. Like I like what OJ said, and I agree with my guy OJ. Let me be honest here. Not because Prince Johnson supported President Weah 2017. I frown on people that fought that war and killed our people in Liberia. As far as concerned, they should not be part of any. They should not be part of any public, or office in that country to get our country straightened up. Because that's the reason why we stay here talking about war crimes court, or the other person coming and putting their own crime in the faces of people, the victims, and making people feel bad and all that kind of thing. Oh, my people are being killed and this, that, other one. Well, your people, so your people are being killed. So what's up with the man that were in bomb mines that you slaughtered in front of his children? That had nothing to do with the war. Y'all went to school together. Olu. Anybody who lived bomb mines before the war, there was a guy in bomb mines. He's the only guy that had pharmacy in bomb mines. Olu. He slaughtered the guy right before his wife, the family right in Massachusetts today. So what's about that dude? What he did to the Nimadians. So you see, we can't go back to be bringing these things out. But when we see people doing these flip-flopping thing around and think they are godfather because they said our people were being killed and so we came to protect our people. You passed through Nima County. You didn't fight in Nima County. You passed through Nima County and passed through bomb mines and went straight to Monrovia and captured Door and did what you had to do there. So we know the Nimbadian people are wise people. They see that the roads have been developed and the roads are developing. They see that the product will not stay in the wells and get rotten. The product will reach to the final destination, will be sold, it will make them money. They see Nima County is a vibrant county. They have one of the cities that never sleep in the country. Nima is making headway when it comes to development. For one man to hold Nima County hostage, the people said no. So the blue wave is moving. So look, let the Unity Party people play the deception all they want. Yesterday, Prince Johnson was on Chowia's side. You're putting in the air that he should go for a war crime. As a matter of fact, let me inform this network. It was the Unity Party that wrote somebody, a lobbyist in Washington, to put Prince Johnson and other people on sanction. There's a guy, I think I called the guy name on this show before. The guy, they formed this group is a auxiliary of Unity Party. They got a group called the Renaissance Group, headed by what's his name? George. Somebody can call his name about. I forgot the last.
Wisner.
Yes.
Yeah, George Wisner. I know. I heard about that.
He came out and said they put that thing before they went to Washington D.C. They got the lobbyists and they push for Prince Johnson and other people to go on a sanction. And that's the same man you going back to his party to negotiate with because you're President. We got a little difference when it comes to money or putting Nimbadians in government to work. No, I say let us look at the bigger picture of Nimbadians. Don't look at few Nimbadians in government. What are 30, 40? Look at the bigger picture. Look at Nima County as a county that when it's developed, when the roads are open, it will benefit the people of Nima County. Let us push that kind of politics. Now somebody appointing or sending means of 20, 30 people to president. We have to employ in government. It won't benefit Nima County. The money will go
quickly here. You know, we are in a huge number. We got to speak strictly to the point, at least 1 minute to condense what our argument here. So do you see the actions of whatever Unity Party is doing now? Who does it benefit?
Is it?
Well, Unity Party is doing it to our own detriment because Prince Johnson is an entity as far as concerned in Nima County.
Before then or now?
Now. The blue wave is moving. Brother, okay. You can see I got to bring glasses up.
Yeah, all right. I think there were two barrage came to Koto here. Let's give her the chance so that Koto.
Okay. Let me just make a point of correction. George Wilson not for Unity Party for ANC.
No. George Wilson just started to give his support to Alexander Kumi. He was with Unity Party.
We know he's an ANC. I don't believe he's an ANC. When he made that statement, he probably ANC man.
ANC statement. Okay.
Yeah. So, is Mr. Toto an ANC? Are you from the ANC?
Mr. Toto, don't make no excuse for Joe.
I support the ticket of Tiwa Gonglo.
Okay, guys.
Okay, so you and Susie are playing devil advocates here because y'all still need a collaboration. So y'all different.
I'm an LPP there.
Okay, guys. Let's get back to baseline. Koto.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for expressing your feeling, and that's what politics is all about. Whatever you see as an aid, to the next man, express it. But I think, you guys are missing something here. You guys are making comparison. Right now, the man took his time. It was now Ambassador Barker who told him that he wanted to talk with him. It was Prince Johnson who took the time to go to see Barker. And in this case, you cannot tell the man, I don't want to speak to you. And there is no way, if it is me, I would tell Prince Johnson, I don't want to talk to you. There is no way. You wanted to be a president. Then the people that you want to serve and pushing them away, there is no way you can do that. And right now, I'm in support of the TRC, the war crime court. Why would I say I would support somebody to say they would not implement the war crime court? I am totally against that. But in this case, you gotta get it wrong. With the case of ANC, you want to compare with the Unity Party. ANC have these people have come under the ANC and in fact were on the campaign team of the ANC. So otherwise, it's not with Unity Party. Prince Johnson only asked for a talk with the ambassador. So you guys misconstruing the whole thing, okay? So you can't stop the man from talking. What we will be waiting to hear is what was the discussion, what was acceptable and what was not acceptable. Then, of course, then I will come up with a contention as to what Barker is accepting that is not with what that I don't want. But up to date, we do not know what the discussion was, and it is a closed door discussion. I'm not coming to say in a blank space. I just conclude on a blank space. Then we're supposed to talk with even George Weah. We can still talk with George Weah. That's what I'm still saying. We can talk to everybody across the Liberia. Once it comes to coming to peace and have Liberia in a better state. So you can say we can't talk to people. We'll talk to them. It's only what they want. We will decide what we want to be done. And if I am in, and I know the ambassador, I know will not sit there and Prince Johnson dictate to him. I will be one of those that will see coming out and say, hey, he accept certain things from Prince Johnson. I will tell you guys, I don't buy, but I'm not looking for a job. I'm not one of those who want to go to Liberia and go be minister or anything. None. I stay in Ellen Johnson. I support her. I never work with Ellen Johnson government. The whole while I stay there. So there is no way that I'll be here now. I even get a job and finish doing it, then I go run for a ministerial job. But this is the case. If he goes against us to say he accepted Prince Johnson coming with suggestion and he goes by Prince Johnson's suggestion, I would be against it thoroughly. But to talk with Prince Johnson, he needs to talk with everybody across Liberia. You cannot censure him. You cannot stop him from talking with Prince Johnson. I personally cannot stop Ambassador Johnson, Ambassador Boycott from talking with Prince Johnson. So you guys get a whole story wrong. Let's wait and see what is the discussion. You can't stop him. Okay.
All right.
When he become leader, is he going to stop talking to other people because he just don't want to talk with them? When the time comes, decision to be taken, yes, there is a decision. I take the decision and go by it. But for now, you can't stop.
Let's spin the ball. I'm having a swollen hair right now. It's like you put like a flour yeast store. Sissy, I see that from Future Expressions, Amos Joy, Prince, Dr. Toto. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what's up with OJ. Are we confusing the Liberian people? Sissy, politicians, advocates are going to be coming to Prince. He advocate now. I don't know what we can blend in as politicians to do this. What are you doing? We can talk about that. But are we in a state of confusing the Liberian people? Who is who, and why we should leave from one point and going to this point when we see this sort of remix of politicians now being more fixers, fine-tuning messages that yesterday were disabused.
So I think I can understand when politicians, people who are running for office, contort themselves and do these mental gymnastics to kind of sell something. What I can't understand is panelists, when we try to do that, we got nothing to gain, like Koto just said. Look, why is the man hosting a closed door meeting without nothing being released, knowing the kind of person Prince Johnson is in the first place? And why is it now that you're quoting Prince Johnson when he and the president got a beef going on? And you want us to sit down here and say, oh, well, we're fair when the man presents something, then we're not liking him. You, the United Party, I've not seen them celebrate one person more than they celebrated the Prince Johnson meeting. Show me one. Show me one. It is non-existent. So please spare me this CDC and data heresy. And I'm coming to you now, Keto. You've been committing this mathematical heresy for a long time. I've been ignoring you. When you talk about the blue wave is coming. So I put in our chat room because I'm trying to understand, because as a math person, there's a wave function. There's a wave function. And the wave function must never be zero everywhere in space. CDC is zero everywhere in every political space. So I don't see where that wave is coming from. But if you're talking about wind and ocean, in order for the wave got to be caused by wind, and wind has to be caused in political space by winning. When was the last time a candidate you put up won anything anywhere?
Nowhere.
Tell me, special election, by-election, where? Nowhere.
Anymore.
You're trying to claim Lofa Kante when the man who won Lofa Kante had to win as an independent before he came over to you. My man breaking you about, you're start betting you about. Yeah, you don't have any wave. I know sometimes we can ally with Christians because we walk by faith, so we put stuff in the ethos and say by faith. By faith, I will be a billionaire, and I don't play the lottery, and I don't improve my lot and say I will win it. That's why my brother kept on here. But I am more disappointed in my sister Makoto tonight for the really dance she's doing. I am disappointed in my disappointment. He has to show some spine, and as of now, he has not shown that he got one political spine. He buying Luft in Lebron, so I can talk about it with him. I won't talk about it because I'm my uncle.
So that means you gotta have some spine either. You can't shelter.
Prince, you never been to Fakade for a long time. I still want to go.
No, I actually went there for my in 2020. I actually visited Lofa for the first time in my entire life. I was there for a
month. Guys, let's get to the issue here.
Yeah, that become me also the question they asked. I think politicians and non-politicians, we are very confusing the Liberian people. In terms of where to really live. Let me pick up Prince. You spent 10 months in Liberia, and under the regime of George Weah. And the 10 months you spent in Liberia, I don't know which part of Liberia you spent, but I don't know which part of, if you really have a really dialogue with family members to see to go to other to institutions like Liberia. You see the healthcare institution collapse. You see young people roaming on the street of Monrovia, unemployment to the highest peak. Common sickness and malaria cannot be killing people. People have to fly to Ghana and other places to take medical treatment. You see young children roaming the street of Monrovia. You spend 10 months in Liberia to observe. In your observation, you came out and say, yes, President Weah is the best to be the next year. And you have not seen other things. I don't know why you visited Liberia during Eddie Johnson's any time. You know, where Eddie Johnson
I also did. So I'll give you I'll let you finish and I'll interject.
Yeah, I would have finished your come. You know, where Eddie Johnson said he told Liberia from and give it to President Weah. And you see how the decline that Liberia have gone through. Look at our GDP per capita, our GDP, everything, our human capital index, everything has declined under the government. All the various economic indicators that you grade of government on to let them run the industry, everything has declined under this government. He lied. The last time ago to say they are reduced inflation rate from 30% to 7%. And we see all these indicators, we see the effect on the Liberian people. And here you come and say, you spend 10 more, a greater president to be for the next year. I would just say the American term, wow.
Mr. So, is it possible to put like a time restriction or time limit on each and every person? Because I mean, we're having a dialogue and one person has the opportunity or the chance to speak for 2-3 minutes. And in my rebuttal, I would like to express myself fairly as well. But I know that with time constraint right now, we'll not be able to do
so. You're having 2 minutes. You finish using 1 minute 38 seconds already.
No problem. No problem. I will get to that.
We'll work on that as we'll work on that, and I think that's a valid point.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Toto, when people express themselves in this way, I consider that political statements. Now, let me get back to the main point. When you say people, the young kids are roaming the streets of Monrovia, that has never changed. I was born in Cinco, right? I was born in JFK Hospital on 24th Street, right across from JFK Hospital in the 80s. So I'm not a war baby. Secondly, kids will always roam the streets of Africa. That is a normal thing. So do not make the statement political. And yes, I was in public transportation. People can attest to that. I didn't go on a fancy vacation. It was not a vacation. It was a rehabilitation process for me. It was me reintegrating into a broken system. It was me relating to dysfunctional people, to people living in a dysfunctional society. It was me getting adjusted to kids that know nothing but chaos, but war. That's the kind of integration I made. So my vacation was not fancy or none of that. I related to people within the communities. I went to a Kinju shop. I drank Kinju right across from Jefferson Koji house. I sat in dialogue with people in various communities. So those are things I did. So so when you're saying that people are roaming the streets of Monrovia, those are political statements. Let's get to the facts. And yes, I also visited Liberia in 2009 when Ellen Johnson was president, which the transitional process, I commend her for the work, for some of the work she did in keeping the peace and kind of bringing the country to a stable level, a stable environment. I agree to that. But yes, I visited a country. The Unity Party government was the highest donor in any African country history in the world.
Did you mean receiver?
Do you have the statistics for that?
We can get into that. I can give you common example.
Oh, I'm talking. Do you have the statistics for that? The Unity Party got the highest donor in the world. You the
you mean one of the
receiving,
yeah.
right? The receiving and the receiving.
The thing sometimes you guys do,
What's
You guys missed
No, but
on.
Prince stay on. I'm not call the man off now. Let him finish.
On the receiving end, and we can talk about that. But my main purpose,
let Prince finish. Let Prince land.
my main purpose, my main purpose of coming on the show tonight.
Give me 1 second, Prince. Let us, people are also monitoring, and we want to make our audience to get a takeaway in terms of what we're going to be arguing. So it can be like just grab a little piece. If anybody anything, just note it down, and right after that, if there's any comment, we can do that. Yeah, Prince, go there. But like you said too, now let's observe the time.
Okay, we will do so. So now let's get back to my main purpose. I wanted to be on the show tonight. It's my first major appearance. Is Senator PYJ, Prince Johnson, of course. And little do people know, you have to go back and dig into the reasons why he's currently on the Magnitsky Act, on the Magnitsky list right now. The reason why he's sanctioned is for human rights violation and corruptions, the pay to play. Those are the reason why he's sanctioned right now. So when people talking, he can go to this party and go to that party. No. Why should a killer, a human abuser, an unrepentant murderer should sit on our airways and tell people I'm liberating Nimba? What have you done for Nimba? What are you currently doing for Nimba? How do we move forward? Those are things we need to be discussing. How do we move forward as Liberian? How can we put those people that committed these acts and get them out the way and get them out of our politics to move forward as a normal people? You have traumatized kids. I'm one of those kids. I'm one of those children that was traumatized in Liberia. When people say you went across, I was one of those people that went across. I did.
Okay, some emotions inserting into it, but these are I think it's better to have these conversations that will give us a sense, a good direction in our decision making here. Dr. Toto.
Yes.
I thought that I Toto finished.
Yeah, let me try to conclude my point I'm making for to Prince. I'm glad whether it's a particular statement I'm making or not, we're talking politics. But the issue of Prince Johnson, we say it again, look, Prince Johnson, for me, Prince Johnson, that is irrelevant in the eyes of Liberian politics. Everybody want to leave on Prince Johnson, up to the president. We are benefited from it. They get him to where he want to be today. He have divorced himself, or whether he's true or not, because we just saw a statement recently from him. He said that when people went to the church, if they want to hear anybody about President we are from him, is lie. How the ECOWAS leadership have negotiated with President we are. So it's up to them. But Prince Johnson, no, the new Liberia want to push for. We want for good Liberia for our children and future children. If we continue to welcome this warlord, as Prince was saying, we're not going to make any positive impact in Liberia. I wouldn't just politicians, but even our various set of Liberia, we need a clean Liberia to move forward. Even like the work of Martin Cody and others doing also the other side on the advocates of education, how they are bossing people credentials, every day they coming up and they're putting people outside that carry fake credentials to Liberia, other places to attain public offices in Liberia or university. These are things we need to be doing in Liberia. So that's for the politicians side, for every aspect of Liberia. We have to make a significant impact on the life of the people. It's too bad gaming into Liberia politics. That was sometimes I support Tewan Goglo. Yeah, I want to be president. But when it comes to some of the things he has stood, some of the people he has stood himself with also to, it make us to want to step back to. When Taro Kwangba made that statement about President Weah and his wealth, since then we came on it. We debunked that particular statement, and I personally went after Otado Kwangba, also I post that. So like George was saying, we didn't just say the lie to go on the road for us. I will just stop there for that to allow other people the opportunity to talk.
Okay. Amos George. Mr. George, are you there?
Yeah, look, let me say this. Yeah, can you hear me?
Before you come to your point, it's becoming very difficult now. Who can really stand in the gap? who can really stand in the gap for the people of Liberia and to be the real change agent, because we frowned on the president, the CDC government on numerous fronts on different things. And we've seen these sort of political accommodation. The other people that live in here, they come in and say, okay, we were on our side, that was okay. So they come on the side, we should embrace them. What is our direction as a country?
Well, we find ourselves in a very peculiar position. But for me, I always say, we have to continue to call these people out. Okay. So some points that I'm taking my head. You know, this war, we all felt some personally. And so the pain is across the board with many of us. So here's the thing. To look at Prince Johnson and condemn Prince Johnson, fine. But man, you support was in bed with this man politically, brought him to power. You had no problem with that. There are people who are in Georgia government who fully participated in the war. And why people can't call those people out? They are right now people in Georgia office. They're fully participating in the war.
Not to cut you off, by George. If this is the trick for tag politics, we're gonna keep playing. Then Liberia is not gonna get nowhere.
Hold on.
Let's do it one at a time.
Hold on. You cannot have it both ways. When this person in your corner, they are okay. When they leave your corner, then that's when you go after them. And this is why you're doing it. 2017, when George Weah, none of you call him warlord. You didn't see anything wrong with it. He got to power all along. George Weah called him Mapa. Nobody said
I'm not a Cibician, so you do not contradict yourself.
Hold on, guys. Listen, let's do it.
You support the government. You support the government. You came here to defend the government. You came here to promote the policy. So don't tell me say you're not a sedition. I'm not holding because you're
no, Mr. So. No,
listen.
George would not misquote me or lure people into believing what I'm saying.
What we do here.
I did not come on this platform saying I'm promoting a government agenda. I said I was a human rights consultant and advocate, which is supporting the re-election of President Weah, and we need to clean up the first branch of the government, which is the legislature. That's what I said.
Listen,
Mr.
this is
Prince,
what we do.
You came here, you said you support George Weah re-election. You support George Weah.
So let's do this. Listen, guys. Let's do it this way. We shouldn't be like those other people here. When your colleague is come in, Mr. Joy. When your colleague making his or her point, please hold your peace. If there's anything that's been mentioned that you think you've been misquoted, we will give you the fair share to straighten that. You know, we don't want to be interrupted.
And I sincerely do apologize.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So yeah, Mr. Joy, carry on.
Yes. If anybody come on this platform and you say you support Tier 1 conclude policy, and you expect me not to ask you a thing about Tier 1 conclude, then you are in the false world. When you come on the program, when Kete comes in and says he supports George Weah, he doesn't have to be a member of the CDC. He supports the ideologies and policy of that government. So I have all right to question him. How did he arrive there? And so, Mr. Kamal, if you come here and say, oh, yeah, Joe, we are doing great thing, and you don't want me, you go after Prince Johnson, and you don't want me to, this government is supporting. What is happening there? You don't want me to ask you? No. Unexplained death. Or not George Weah. Have you ever asked that those innocent people that die in Liberia, have you ever asked a government that you support what is happening to those people? What investigation?
Okay.
All right. The question. So if you come on the platform, if you get thin skin, then why don't come? Where
No, I don't think.
come from?
Let's get to the issue now.
I mean, you're getting emotional. I think maybe.
No, I'm not getting emotional.
Let's-
Oh man, you don't want to get emotional because you don't want talking on me. You spoke here. I didn't say a word to you.
need
I
to
just started asking one or
double
two
up your
questions. And you start getting no. So let's say this. I always say.
Prince get open up front, man.
Yeah, man. Says it. So let me say this.
Man.
We'll continue to ask these people to question them. If Joy Ware is doing the right thing, fine to you, that's fine. Mr. Keda can come. Today, we can get sense of result. Today, biometric was again 0. And these are the things that are happening in Liberia. For Keda, then, it's perfect.
Okay.
But let me just close on the note. Madam Cotto,
Oh boy.
the last time you were here,
You
said that Omer Boaga came to visit. But I heard on VOA from Omer Boaga, he said that he came here to do medical checkup. And this is the secret that you people have. When we were asking you on the platform, you said no. He just to do a visit and go back. When James Potter, he was on James Potter on video the other day, he said, I came here to do my checkup. But again, you people will hide all these things. This is not a country we want. If someone is old and sick or whatever, they have the right to go for a medical checkup. There's nothing telling the Liberian people that he came here for a medical checkup. But you people try to play the calculator again. Until when I heard the old man on video the other day, then I said, but how can the old came for a medical checkup? But they say, no, he just came for a visit. So please, let us be sincere to the Liberian people. You start dancing. Dancing
so,
Joe Biden went to read day before yesterday. They told us what everything Joe Biden went to do there. They didn't sweep it under the raw. Carry your paint and I said, oh no, we don't know what it is. But let me just close on this because let me just close. So, yeah. So let me just close on the note. And I got to run somewhere quick. But Mr. Prince Kamara, yeah, no, I'm closing now because I got to go somewhere.
How you going to shoot? How you going to shoot and run? No, you're running, Mr. George. You leave my comments all the time. Do not run. I want to give you a good 1 minute of your time on this platform.
We don't get that start.
We don't get that start. We don't get that to do.
Prince, hold on. Don't carry your pressure. You too young. You got no pressure, so don't carry up. You got no cholesterol. You got no pressure. I'm making a statement. I said, Prince, come back here the next time. When you coming back here, please come back so we can debate this policy about your government that you support. Maybe I'll run it somewhere for 15 minutes. If I show still, I will come back to this and I will be monitoring you in my car.
So, yeah, you decide to fire a rocket. People trying to find shelter now to
see.
Then you want to be airlifted,
my
right?
nephew said, yes, will take the mentor from there.
For that reason, today will not be related. We'll be related tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Mr. Kamara, please come back. You know, I grew up in Fiamma. I was born in Fiamma. Come back.
Wow.
Mr. Kamara, so you were born next door to me. I was born in Bapler Hill.
So
you weren't born far from me. I was born in Bapler Hill.
I think what is playing out here, everyone is doing everything possibly they can to protect their own little alligator. Alligator, you don't ride a bike of an alligator. He who rides the bike of the alligator eventually goes into the belly.
Yeah.
And everybody protecting their own alligator here. So let me ask this question here because we are already running out of time. Within the opposition column, there are a variety of institutions, individuals, people that want to be contesting. With this now, who is better or best positioned? Because it's like there's like a turning in a watering jar right now. By the time you go load the unexpected is taking place on a daily basis. Who is properly positioned? Who is properly positioned to get a clear-cut message? Who is willing to take this political risk? I don't care what happens. It can cost me a vote. I shouldn't be a president of the Republic of Liberia, but I'm going to stand my ground. Who is really doing that now?
Well, the question is posed to who? Anybody?
Yeah, let's spin the
so you can't even ask the question to the opposition quarter there. Like the CC, you say the broom man. When you go to Koto, she will tell you, say, Mr. Boaka, when you go to
Total your own. Yeah, just leave me alone. Just total your own.
She will also the improvement. But this is the thing. Look, when you have somebody who is doing exactly what the people need in the country, there's no competition. There's no competition. So when I come here and hear my brother Toto trying to question Prince about his stay in Liberia and where he went, who are the people he hung out with and all that kind of stuff, it's relative. Because let me tell you something. Just how your opposition people can be crying, saying people dropping dead in the street, the country poor, they place this, they place that. When we go there, I was just there in May of last year. I spent 3 weeks in Liberia. The amount of people that I hung out with, the people that I saw, they're not the people you people be talking about. The people that I saw, that people like, even the clothes they wear are expensive than the clothes that you myself wear here. The people go to you on the neck. You cannot afford it because we gotta pay all our mortgage and our stuff. The people eat, the people drink more than even you and myself, yeah. The people hang out almost 24/7. The necklace open, the dead enjoying themselves. When we come on Facebook, the opposition say the poor dropping dead in the street. I will not, sometimes I sit down and wonder why you guys just exacerbate the whole situation. I understand the country is poor, they walk in, but like, bro, never a very rich country that the employment rate was high in Liberia. They walk in, they war, drop the employment rate. After the war, they walk, the post-war continue to drop the employment rate. Eddie Johnson said, the employment rate went up. Joseph Boaka, Chowiyaki, he dropped. No, it's not being like that. So why you
Right.
act like we for someone else?
Let me move to a different person. Sissy, who are we turning to?
So just 1 second quick, then I'll pivot to that. I wanted to name something here. When we discuss these war issues and an issue of our Liberian civil past, it affects different people differently. I learned that from the last time when the Liberal and I had an exchange on this platform about the coup and the war. So my brother Prince Kamara, I heard the pain in your voice, and I know there's a lot of people watching us. That when we talk about these war issues, we got to be mindful that it affects people differently. It might conjure history, it might conjure trauma, it might conjure a lot of stuff. So I just wanted to name it out there. My brother, I heard the pain in your voice. I deeply empathize. Now, having said that, look, the one person that's been consistent on the platform, on the political stage, is Tewan Gongo. We don't have scandals. We don't deal with scandals. We deal with the issues. We are not around here calling Joe Boakai a dead man walking or he got a pacemaker. We're not around here calling George. We are, I don't know what kind of dancer, come on, Buka dancer. We're not out here calling that our communists struggle with a lifestyle. We're discussing the issues as they affect the Liberian people. And I think that is where every political party, every serious political party ought to elevate the conversation to. I am more than willing to come on this platform. I've done it several times. I do support Tewan Gonglo. Where Tewan Gonglo goes wrong, I will let Liberian people know. Because what we are not selling a saint. We are not telling people that our candidate is a saint. Therefore, we ought to be able to tell Liberian people so that they can make a judgment, an educated judgment, based on the preponderance of the evidence they have before them. Is there more harm to electing this person than good? So that our people don't elect people blindly, and then we come back here and then we start to scream and yell. And I will give this: Liberia has always had a problem with the economy; it's always struggled. But my brother Wilton Keto, when you run on a mantra that change, hope for change, was it change for hope? Which one came for? Whatever way, the change came. We got a lot of millionaires now that weren't millionaires before, but the hope has not come. And let me just drop this one point when you talk about people who are wearing gold chains in Liberia. You're right. I've seen a lot of people who are fluent in Liberia lately. But let me remind you that the Great Depression, even during the Great Depression around the world, there were still people living exuberant lifestyle. So that didn't mean that a lot of people were not struggling with the economy, right? So for me, having said that, though, I will hope that when we get to these conversations, that we're looking for the candidates who are raising the conversation, that we're not trying to minimize or discuss in a disgusting way the health of former Vice President Joseph Boakai, or that we're not here trying to disrespect George Weah and say he doesn't speak English or he's a Kama Buga dancer and don't understand the language the man is speaking and the message he's trying to communicate, or that we don't come to comments and try to disrespect and say, man, Kama Coca-Cola man, or you struggle with a lifestyle. Those things don't help our people make decisions. It don't help our people make economic decisions. It does not help our people with their educational system and everything else. I would just hope we can elevate the conversation.
I'm wondering this time around, Prince, whether there will be a presidential debate, where all of the presidential, including the Cubans and all of those are going to be, contesting, qualified by any seat to have a conversation. Because the drama has inserted into the politics of Liberia, so it kills the substance of our conversation, because by this time, we should be having like the policy of Councillor Tiawon Gonglo, Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka, Ellis Benedict Cummings, the Unity Party of, like what my man said, the Unity Party of Helen Johnson Sirleaf, and that of the Unity Party of Ambassador Boyka. We need to know that red line and all of that. Unfortunately, we are not having this conversation because on the daily basis, some sort of drama, by the time, who knows, tomorrow, in the next day again, some kind of political satire and stories, some kind of thing going to come out, and it gets us distracted. I think this has just been very disservice to the Liberian people and the politicians' inability to have the narrative to control. It's just unbelievable. How can President Weah execute or to make his case genuinely, not in abstract, in concrete, to kind of like have people assess it? Dr. Toto Koto conveys. They don't see it that way, the way you see it. Is he doing that? Or will we see it happening at a later date?
Who are you talking to now?
Prince.
Well, the question posed to me, the system been rebooting, so pardon me if I didn't actually get the question, but
yeah.
if you can.
So are you hearing me now?
Correct. Yeah.
We don't know which way to turn. Let me just put it that way. He also say in making his own argument, can the sitting president convince the electorate, or what can he point to say, hey, I am the best guy to deal with?
And I appreciate that question, but before I answer your question, I would just like to go back to what Mr. Wilton said regarding Mr. Toto question. Now,
my man, if you need giving the man Coca-Cola phone, they make me transfer to ANC.
Relatively. Right. So going back to that, Mr. Wilton said it was not relative, but to me, I find it very relative. It's important. So, Mr. Toto, going back to that question, I hanged out with from the personal aide of the president to your typical clothes washer.
Got us involved. Yeah. I said it was relative. I didn't say it was not.
In the neighborhood.
The Russians in your device or what?
So I also hang around.
Okay.
I don't know. It's probably the internet. It's windy. Right. It's windy out here. So it's probably one of those things. But yeah, I hanged out with you from I was in company with the president aide to your contract black beater.
All right. Okay.
That build black for people on contract.
I think Amos George caused the damage before he left. I think Amos George already.
You know what, Mr. So, they're manipulating your system. Somebody's trying to hide. I told you, I'm an asset to Liberian politics. So somebody's trying to hack your system. I'm an asset to Liberian politics and the whole structure in general.
But in that case, going forward, let CDC pay more money to show people on the platform. Because the men they come in hack the system now.
That pay to play.
Look, I think I should be the one. I'm not sure whether you should be the one to be. I think it should be coming from me, not you or the.
I think the CDC should pay more money, followed by the ANC, followed by United Party. Then they want people win get money so we can get on free.
No problem. We'll still get it.
I mean, y'all got money. Y'all got money, CZ. I met your party.
Oh boy, yeah.
So let me check in for him. You know the question.
Yeah.
No. You can't check me for him.
I told you, I met him in Northeast Philadelphia. He just needs to be a little more tolerant, because your party chairman needs to be a little more tolerant, because it's the typical. He has the typical approach of elder politicians or the elder people involved in politics, which is when I speak, it might just be it. Or when I'm overwhelmed with questions that I cannot.
Okay, Prince, I think we're going to hold it there. Maybe tell your man, Keto, you need to find something better.
Yeah, he can switch phones.
Answer.
Yeah. Let me bring in Dr. Toto, and then I'll go to Koto.
Yeah, to add to the question.
I mean, people are just confused. They try to hold on something, and all of you people somehow ever say, "Oh, no," I mean, panelists in general, not specifically you. Everybody try to protect their own little thing. Yesterday it was bad. Today now is good. And then when you leave from here today, and leave today from your hand, we crucify. Then we crucify again. So I don't know, where are we heading? Liberian people are confused. What could be the consequences? Because when people are confused and they see instability in the kind of conversation, they might end up taking some sort of decision that you may most likely don't like. Who needs to cut through this gap?
Also, the people that are confusing the Liberian people are the CDC people. The CDC people.
Why you getting a camera time? He doesn't get camera time. So don't come to me.
Let me talk. The CDC people.
I didn't even get to forward. The system is recording. I didn't get to finish.
How will you get?
Yeah, but you were having a lot of interruptions. So
let the doctor speak back. Let the doctor talk.
Let me talk. With all the academic hardship in the country, look. Let me tell you, Kato, you know, you I will account for a long way on the account of the CDC so building before we come here. You know the history between you myself already. Look, this government, I have more friends in the government than any other government in the history of any president in Liberia. Up to cabinet level, but I don't have my feeling from that whatsoever. I'll tell you the straight talk. The CDC government, with all economic hardship in Liberia, they make the people to feel like, yes, everything is okay. You dress people on your t-shirt just to show off for you on your rally, to pay them to come out to show some solidarity, to give you that support. But yeah, you find out that when they go back to that very home, they don't even have what it takes for them to survive as a family. That confuses the people right now. You know, creating all the political rhetoric, coming out all the project that was no project that was added by Mother Eddie Johnson Selly up to today. Or you make the project to be more political than to make it as a government project. You make it political. That's confusing the people. That's the reason why some of all we have put our support behind Timon Gonglo, and we hope and pray that he will be the Messiah to deliver Liberia from all the political correctness that have been going on in Liberia. When it comes to the Unity Party, Ambassador Boyka they will say he have the momentum, the popularity as George Weah. But at the end of the day, this is not popularity content. That's why this election is very important. We will have a debate for the election here. Let the political leaders that vary share their policy to everybody, to the electorate in Liberia. And we will call on that civil society to organize a debate for all the political leaders in President. We are able that debate. Let the Liberian people, let it be on record. If Ambassador Boyka is able that debate, let it be on record. ANC as another company also to let it be on record. But our presidential debates must be held, and our policy should be delivered by all those various political parties. Let know who is who. Nobody has happy this time. It was not a free ride those days, but this time, no free ride.
But you're not forced into. You're not forced to.
We will make it.
Okay, so
Ambassador George, we are not escaping anything this time here. You will face it.
I mean, talk is free.
Okay, I know. So, Otto, do you agree with me? Everybody should go on a debate. Would that remedy what the conversation that we are having today?
Well, before I go into that, I just want to make some clarity here before I jump into whether everybody is confused. The thing about Liberia, I don't want to talk down on Prince and Keter. But if I want to talk, I want to talk on the level that I know, because for their level, we think on the age on which they came on and looking at the development. I'm not trying to talk down on you guys, please, you're thinking for that level. For my own experience, I'm just trying to explain. You guys, I heard Prince talking about the money that came in on the Ellen government. When you hear America talking about foreign remittances or transfer of money into a country, it is not the physical cash that is going to an individual or the president to say this is the amount that was transferred. I happen to work with the Norwegian Refugee Council, which was an NGO, and we were in collaboration with the UNHCR and all of the UN organizations. And I can tell you, I know how those funds were transferred into Liberia, or not even the unmailed. All of these organizations were being sponsored by the funds that were coming in. So if you hear the huge sum that came into Liberia then, it is not the Eden government that was handling that fund. It went into these organizations. I was finance assistant to the Norwegian Refugee Council. When the fund came in, it be almost like 30% to 40% is going back. Okay? 40% of that 30%, 35 to 40% of that fund is going back to those guys that at the time was working with Liberia. Just imagine we're making report on the 5th of every month. I used to question some of this amount. So if you hear this huge amount, you will then say, oh, this money came on and the expatriates. The percentage were coming back to America for whatever country they were coming from to work. And I can tell you personally, I was working as finance assistant under the Norwegian refugee, and we were in collaboration with the UNHCR, WHO, and all of the NGO organizations, because we used to go on international meeting. When it comes to the financial meeting, I will either go or my finance manager go. So that's how, when you guys hear some of the money, on any government, we receive huge amount, Ellie should have done this. It is not the way you guys see it. So until sometimes you know some of these things, and you will go contrary or saying what will happen. That being said, okay, you said you were a human right. Give me a chance. You were talking, I didn't call you up. You said you went there as a human right advocate. And under the term of this president, we have had so many people that have been dead. 6 auditors, if I'm not mistaken. The death of Princess Copper, the death of the three missing, but I know they're there. We continue to say missing because we have not had story. What have been your own report on the death of these people? If you are saying that it happens under this government, okay? And these are the things we are looking at. You say, okay, development that came under this government. When last have you heard this government establish its own project or bringing in funds for its own project to establish its own fund that have come to, besides the funds that were already in process for the roads and projects that was outstanding? Okay, because when we're talking this thing, these are the reasons why we will bring up this issue. If I left money, like for instance, I'm here. I built a house for my children to come and live on. After me, you see them flourishing, and it will be like, okay, what I have left for my children, you see them flourishing. But if I did not leave, like some of us, we met our parents, we met them, they were not educated, so they came on a level. You can't say, oh, my parents did not do anything for me because you met them, they were poor at the time, and you have achieved education and you think. But that's why I want to clarify, make some clarity. You guys just coming in now and just seeing what is physically seen. And you are not the only one who been to Liberia. Myself been going to Liberia back and forth. And as we're speaking today, I talked to my brother in Liberia. This is a man who has master's degree and is teaching work with public works. A productive man is been retired. He's been retired. You take a productive man and retire him and replace him with an unproductive person. I mean, these are cases that we're talking about. Then you see the unproductive people are wearing big chin because they get the money and flourish themselves with big chin. You say these people are having money. Whereas the people who have gone and educated themselves that contribute to society are there left with nothing to take care of their families and children. Then you call it the people are enjoying. So I find it difficult to to get the sense of what you guys saying that people are enjoying. We all are Liberians. We have our brothers, sisters, and everybody there. And we all go there the same way you go there. But it depends, again, like you said, you're there with the president and your friends. So the people that are not the president's friends, or the people that are ordinary people living there, that's supposed to be working there to sustain themselves and family, are not getting what these few people are getting and enjoying. Is that what we call, people country development? So I'm just trying to lay this point to provide some of the clarity of what you guys consider as development. If you are developing, the human resource.
Mr. So, can I rebuttal? Can I rebuttal real quick?
You will talk. I think they gave chance that you will talk, but don't talk me out. You talking, and I'm not talking you up. So those are some of the things.
Well, you can't speak for 10 minutes and you attack me. Then you say I would.
I'm not saying you will not talk. You coming there to talk. That's why when we're talking here on this platform, we gave one another chance to talk. Then you come in.
So
don't be talking.
I mean, your device are not even doing you favor yet to that praise. Anytime you can, they start going. Okay, Keto, just hold your peace. Just make your note, Prince. Whatever she said, and we're gonna be wrapping. Oh yeah, Keto.
Yeah.
Right. So I just want to touch base on. I just want to touch. Okay.
You got me?
Yeah, let Keto finish and I'll come to you.
So I would just like to address Toto, my brother Toto, and Kato for my closing. So this is the thing, brother Toto. Look, like I said before, I repeat this to you and my sister Kato. Your speculation, your observation about the suffering Liberia is relative. It's relative to who is believing what. For us and the people that support this administration, we see that the Liberian people are not suffering as you people claim. That's how we see it. Because I went to Liberia, maybe when you went to Liberia, the people you talk with, the people you hang with, you were with, they were not eating. They were dropping dead around you from starvation. Their houses were broken down on them. They were not wearing clothes. They had no food on the table to eat. The people I hung out with, they were not people of high caliber. They were people of the same low status in society, but they have food to eat. They dress every day. They rode keke, motorbike, or they were in taxi going to wherever wanted to go, or they had their own private car driving down the street. They ate at least one time a day, and life was okay. I never saw nobody dropping around me dead. So when you come and generalize the Liberian people suffering, it's like doomsday. Just we have brought doomsday in Liberia that stagnated everybody, and the people suffering seriously, and that's sad because that's not what is happening on the ground. You can't blame us. And by the way, maybe you and myself will be proud because I lived through the 70s in Liberia. all the wars that were fought in Liberia up to April 6th, I saw them vis-a-vis. I lived it. All the demonstration in Liberia that took place prior to our civil war, we were part of it. We have people in it that we could relate to, that could relate to us. So we know history. There was never in the time of our country that we have 50% of our society employed. Never. It has never been, because government has been the largest employer in Liberia. Government has always been the largest employer in Liberia until we graduate from the place where we tax ourselves to invest in our own society, to become entrepreneurial, or open up our private sector and take over to help employ our young people. We're going to still be behind the thing where you have a competent leader, but you have unemployment deficit in our country, because we are not speaking sincerely to our Liberian people. We got millionaires Liberian. When they become millionaires, or when they are millionaires, they only want to become president of that country, instead of carrying factories to Liberia to employ at least 500 people that will feed another maybe 10,000 people in our country. We don't do that. You understand? So let us. And my brother Toto, we've been in it long. We've been talking it over and again. Fortunately for you and my brother Sisse, you're joining the broom man. And that's a good thing. Liberia needs to be clean. They'll keep sweeping corruption out. And I hear, Gonglo.
You said the broom man?
The broom man. He carried the broom around. The broom man. He carried the broom around. So what can I call him? The broom man. Like the drummer boy. The drummer boy from United Party that was beating Johnny Prince Justin Church. That's his new name, our drummer boy. So let me not pull a little my sister here. So that, I'm just saying, let's look at the politics differently. Let us look at the politics to the extent where Liberia can be put up there. We can look at politics to characterize, like Brother Sisse said, personalities and there. That should stop. Let's look at the bigger picture of Liberia.
Prince, let's hear
like
from
how
you.
you say, but he still come on, man, broom ball, but he end up with us elephant in the conversation.
Prince, let's hear from you. We are already tied. Prince.
Prince,
By George is on the Prince.
Thank you, Mr. So, for right, but I would just like to go back on some of the statement Mrs. Jala made. Like, for one, you're unaware of your political leader even inviting Prince Johnson to come to him for a sit down. You're very unaware.
You won't get. That's why.
Everything you said about that particular. Now, secondly, you cannot run or promote your candidate agenda of Ellen Johnson's Sirleaf's achievement or work when she did not even endorse her vice president in his candidacy as a president. So your argument is not even valid.
You can't come up.
Airplane can't blow horn. Well, guys,
I was not hanging.
But my man, I'm close here. Can we close the program? You hear me? Let me
I still need my 30 seconds.
Oh, Prince,
I still need my 30 seconds.
Yeah, but go ahead. That's a system kept frozen up. That's
right. So I still need.
There you go.
Brother, Sisse, you already spoke. Don't speak again, brother. Please.
30 seconds. So you can. That's impossible. And I was not in Liberia hanging out. I was not in Liberia hanging out with the top dogs. Like I said, I hanged out with the people that were beating black, and I was mentored by the late Reverend Booyah, may his soul rest in peace, through the process. Now, to close, I would just like to say, CZ, your political leader actually after me when I posted the was appealing and significant and meaningful. So he got the broom and modeled after it because I mentioned sweeping the House of Legislature. But I can't blame him for it. He's a human rights advocate. So if he take that route, it's all for the same purpose.
Okay. Sissy.
He too Silesian decided to end with my God on there. But me, I will lead them. I will not follow that path where Keto tried to follow. But to my brother Prince, the official emblem, symbol of the Liberian People's Party has always been a broom. That is why even the newspaper that was. But
why you been sleeping ever since?
I just telling you, so, you know, just let you know where that broom comes from. That broom has been with the Liberian People's Party way during the struggles with the True Week Party. So ever since when, but you know, this has been nice. I wish my brother didn't have the phone, the network issue, because I wanted to hear from him. He's been, you know, an avid commenter, and I really wanted to hear from him. You know, and it's nice seeing your face. In closing, though, the one thing that I think, you know, back to where Liberian people are being confused, I think we have to throw some weight on the new Unity Party, which is the Joseph Barker Unity Party. There was a turnover note between the leaving government and the incoming government. And Mr. George Weah and the CDC says that they didn't have much in the coffers. And Unity partisans will complain that no, there was much money. My question to Unity partisans is that when that turnover note was written, when it was crafted, did the vice president ever see it? And if he did, he has that data to speak to the Liberian people about. Or was this thing crafted by Ma Ellie and just two people in secrecy and handed over to George Weah? We have to be very fair with the Liberian people. When the Unity Party people come out and say, oh, you know, there was plenty of money left in the coffers. It was this, it was that, it was a turnover note. Okay. And not like the president and the vice president died. Ellen doesn't want to talk because that's diplomacy. She's left the stage. But the VP is running. Why can't he tell us if he saw the turnover note, if he was a part of the crafting of that turnover note that was saying they're over? You know, the Unity Party keep creating a lot of for us.
Sese, to your point now, so will we be now he having a conversation with the vice president? So do you think that kind of conversation will come? Is that something the vice president, I wonder he's going to ask him whether he knows about it as well?
Because my question is, Ellen crafted a turnover note, and it was not done by the president herself. We don't think that happens. It's done by people, by aides and all technocrats. And was Joseph Walker kept out of the room? Did he not have any access to that? Because now when President Weah says one thing and Ellen does not come back to a larger extent, does not come back to push back, which I don't expect her to. That would be breaking a kind of a code. You know, you left office, let it be. But the vice president is running to be president, and he was vice president at the time. He stands the most chance of giving us that credible data. Why isn't the Unity Party releasing that or speaking on it? I mean, speaking on it officially, not the people that are around the corner talking about it, but I think speaking about it as a serious presidential contender about what was left in the coffers and what was the turnover note.
Okay. We will continue to have this conversation. I hope in the coming days and week, all of you, your supporters, maybe we need
to. Alfonso, can you give me 30 seconds? We can make a quick report out of Kata.
Everybody will be there.
There will be a reporter for me.
You know what I want to do? Next month, I think I got to introduce a protest fee around here. So everybody want to.
10 seconds.
You can't do that. You can't do that, brother Tuto.
No, you can't just say us and walk away free. You can't just make a black ass and walk away free.
So let's hear it quickly.
You were talking about the unemployment rate in Liberia. And you want to compare it with what we call Liberia Normandy. And look at the population Liberia at that time before the war. The population we have. You talk about employment rate Liberia. Liberia reached one of the highest peak in employment rate. In fact, they had to take Florida to come and work in Liberia. We have factories in Liberia, the Burma that you were, the Lango, the La. They talk about factory, Fireso, all the places in Liberia. You talk about in Sado County, we have the alcohol factory, everything. So employment rate in Liberia before the war was very steady. It was not high. So I don't know where you get that statistic for 50% unemployment rate in Liberia before the war. That's not true.
No,
you want to make that statement.
Can I just
Okay.
get correcting, Brother So? Can I get correcting?
Well, let's take. I will postpone our code date to. I
can back up his statement.
Well, folks, it's after our time.
Culture and tourism was the biggest employer in Liberia.
Hold on 1 second, Prince. This is what I want you guys to do. 30 seconds. USA 30 seconds now, Liberia 30 seconds. We yet to validate this news here. And news information, it has to be told just how it comes while we wait to verify it. Now, we now know that the new code date for the CEOs, our sister network phones for Florida now is set for April the 10th. In the midst of that, we see things flowing. I've reached out to most of them. I know them. Timberland, he used to be in my own state. I don't know Peabody that well, but Ben, we talk here and there. We are hearing that they have all resigned. I don't know. Those information yet to be validated. I placed a phone call, sent text, sent inbox, but nobody has yet responded. But if this happens to be true, based on what we know from this Facebook, 30 seconds, if these gentlemen resign from the network, what it means ahead of Mr. Waterspoon, could they for Florida? You just say it's still terrible. We don't know what's going to be the outcome from Delaware. It's a very tough one. But if this Ben, Timberland George, Kev Hassan, Peabody, according to the release, resign. If that happens to be the truth, what it means in terms of the future of the network. Koto, let me start with you. If anybody who wants to respond to it, fine. If you don't want to respond, that's okay as well. But we can't just sweep everything like that while we're still waiting for more information.
I mean, I can briefly comment on. I can briefly
I will
comment
come to you.
on
Right.
the subject.
1 second. Let's do as soon. Koto, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, and I don't know whether the guys are in either cahoot or they are aware of what actually existed, or probably part of what had happened, which I don't know, and I can't come out to say something that I don't know. But I think that's the prudent thing to do, especially when it comes to criminal, activity in connection with the man under which they work with, who is the CEO, as it is being stated. I stand to be corrected because right now he's going through a court proceeding, and if they find it necessary that he cannot, collaborate or coordinate with whatever he has had that is in connection, because right now everything that he has, if he's found guilty, will be confiscated, as we know, including the Spoon FM, with whatever he has. So I think it's the right thing for them to do, because if for some reason that you are being maybe in connection with a person that such a thing have happened, and you may want to keep aside or avoid the process for now, I think that would be the right thing to do.
Okay. Quickly, let's keep it strictly to the point. Prince, go ahead quickly.
Basically what I would like to say is, as you know, Liberians living in the United States, we all, as young people like me and others growing up here, we've made mistakes, and the karma of society is you pay your debt as you go. So it's basically what I'm trying to say is you do the crime, you pay the time. Now, personally speaking of the other guys, I don't personally know them. So, but I think when we're speaking of integrity and personal and trying to fix things in Liberia and speaking of the issues, I think they're doing the right thing. Now, as far as Peabody is somebody that I've interacted with, something he thought of and actually made and thought about the doing the right thing. So out of all of the guys, Peabody is somebody that I've actually interacted with and mingled with, and he seemed like a decent, he's a very decent dude.
Thank you so much. Keto?
Yes, thank you so much, brother. So and the rest of the team. Before I answer that question, give my little point on that. I would just like to step my brother Toto that he said that we have to.
Wait on Keto.
Yes, sir.
We are on it. That's if you do that, you're replacing it to the other one, or we're not going to.
No problem. He said we have to input labor to Liberia to work. Did we input labor because our population was low or because we never had qualified people? I think when we give any kind of information, we should give it, with the clear picture. Our population, just how Ellen Johnson said, went and brought Nigerians and Ghanaians to work at the oil the oil of the local, because we never have people who were knowledgeable of that. That what happened back in the days. So, Stanton Witherspoon, he made his bed, he's gonna lay in it, and the guys made a very good decision to back off on that network because the network were critical of people, whether you're opposition or your government or supporter or you work in government. They were critical on national issues, especially when it comes to corruption, and they were preaching corruption. The poor say he that comes with equity must come with clean hands. So if you're preaching these kind of message of corruption, trying to eradicate corruption, fight corruption in your country, at the same time you're being corrupt on the side, it doesn't add up. So I think they did the right thing to leave the network, and maybe we'll see them surface somewhere else, but they did the right thing.
I got my own view here. Let me come to Dr. Toto here. Dr. Toto.
Yeah, when it comes to the spoon network, something I'm a little bit confused. I saw the post from Peabody. Let me just say I know Peabody very well. We all came through our refugee struggle days in Ghana. And I saw his message this evening before coming to the show that he had resigned from the Spoon Network. But what getting me confused, I did tune in the Spoon Network today, and the CEO came on and brought also information. If I did talk about Ke Hassan, that the CDC government told him that he should not be part of Spoon Network. He labeled the CDC government. And then later on, I saw the post from Peabody. And I don't care very well. We are changing note most of the time. And I sent a message to get it back. And I'm not ready to get it back. Feedback from here.
I did send a message too. So, okay. I didn't watch Spoon, to be honest. I didn't watch Spoon. You said the CEO appeared this
the CEO appeared this evening or afternoon or evening position. He said he wouldn't talk about Kev. He said that Kev called him and said that the CDC government told him to leave the Spoon Network. But the other guy, like Ben, like Peabody, and he talked to them. He said they was a part of the network. And then later on, there was with the bond. I saw the message from Peabody that officially resigned. So there's a lot of confusion in there when they get the actual facts while already leading their resignation. Instead of you just come in, I would like to see move. Instead of you just come in, say I resign with the Spoon Network, but give her duty. Why make you to resign?
Man, you had to come back.
So yeah, so that's
okay.
That's my opinion on that. I want to know more. Why you do the resignation?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But you're closing now, so I don't even know what you're gonna say. Sissy. So before you come in, Sissy, right? Before you come in, I want to just say, because myself kind of a little bit confusion is taking place here. It's something not right. Reach out while we still wait, but we have to have this sort of conversation here. And the thing here, like we all here with this LPR, we also have a group chat. I think some sort of double standard being played here. Double standard in a sense that, and this is the problem. This is what is going on in today's world, society, politicians, even in our own daily lives. What was this? What was the relationship? How was this relationship? I mean, it is not an overnight event. For God's sake, we on this network. No one is infallible, but I know we just got to be honest here. I'm wondering, like Prince pre-ballet, Dr. Toto, standard, this and that. This was the same pre-ballet a couple of times when this thing happened. They said they were going to come up with a statement. I'm not sure whether that statement ever came about. I'm not sure anybody at any time, in as much he's the CEO, whatever was happening, anybody raised a concern, hey, too much going. Everybody was having great time with him. So whoever asked us slighter questions as to how this network was generating money and how it was doing, whoever confronted, whoever asked that question, we chat when we leave from our group chat here, we do some personal chat and thing, anybody giving your father $10 and all the kind of, yeah. So for people to see what is unfolding, I do not know yet for sure with Peabody and other people, but something now seems to be right. I just thought I brought that point in.
So I'm going to take a different view than the popular view here. I think it's spineless and disingenuous of these people resigning together. Like you could even write an individual resignation letter. Like that's how lazy you guys are. That you like. If we all ever decide to leave the platform, I guarantee you, I will not be writing a letter with George Toto to leave the platform together with George Toto. I will leave on my own, writing my own thoughts. That is academic and intellectual laziness to the zenith. And the other piece is, it is just a flawed business model. Look,
thank you.
I'm about to get in trouble with some with two.
No, you're not.
But we're seeing pastors commit crimes in Liberia, and the pastor go to jail. I've seen a few pastors go to jail, and the church stays. So, what was the business model? Were these people being paid to stay on? And if they were paid, so then that tells us that all of their commentary was bought and paid for. And so, when the money is no longer coming, that's why they're leaving. Is this a personal property of Senator Witherspoon? What was the business model? Because Fox News, when they had that issue, Fox News continued to operate even though they put him on the side. So what was the business model? And spare me this morality thing. Did you read that thing they put out there talking about, the direction of the network? You were on the network day in, day out when this thing was at its peak. You did not speak on anything. Now all of you sit down together and write one letter to resign together. And that's a disrespect to the Liberian people. And they are people hypocritical, educated with PhDs. Yes, I'm coming at the Dr. Peabody. That is academic.
Very hypocritical.
You can at least craft your own.
Doesn't have a doctor degree.
Yes, let me just bring a point there. They didn't do a group resignation because what I saw today, I saw a personal something from that.
Yeah, there's multiple statements. There's a group one, which is Peabody and other. The only person name I didn't see if it was oversight, Chinaway.
Yeah, Dr. Chinaway was not. Her name is not on there.
Amos, you want to still on the network because she's still on the network.
Yeah. Let me say this. Yeah, let me say this.
And those are the ANC folks.
When you mentioned that topic, I was coming. I was rushing home. I was rushing to come. The Benson V, Tomani George, Dr. Peabody, and Ken Hassan, these people are cruel, wicked. Why I'm seeing this? If at all, what I read from Benson V, he said internal disagreement. That is the release that Ben Sefi wrote with 4 of their names on it. If they would have resigned because maybe the young man fall in trouble and the first says something that will implicate them, then I will see. or if the CEO asked him to resign, then I would have seen that. But they said there's internal disagreement. Is that the reason you're leaving the network that you started? Is that the reason? That is not a sincere reason to me. I find it to be very, 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 very disingenuous on the part for internal reason. This man is not even going to jail that you cannot talk to. So what is the problem that you people having that you couldn't solve? And for you decide to walk away. But here's the thing here. When there's young men were paying away when they went to Liberia, put them in hotels, enjoying. For me, if Mr. Toh, God forbid, Mr. So, Samson Broku Toh, says they are in any problem, I will not walk away from the network. Except the time they say, at the point where I reach, I think you people can step aside. I will hold on to see what will happen to those people mentioned. Why the guy could not hold on to that network to see what will be the final judgment on the CEO and ask the CEO now, this is the show, what can we do? Did they have such a conversation with that young man? These people are disgusting. I would say, hey, you don't treat people like that. When the man flew them to Liberia, took them all around, introduced them to all these people in Monrovia, conducting interview here and there. And now you come to say it's internal wrangling. So you all resigning?
Yeah.
Better than that, man.
We're going to leave it there. But absolutely, I really don't buy into
But George, you're so emotional. You have a very thin skin. Not because the ANC can no longer support the full network financially. For the political scene. But it's okay.
Hold on, Prince. I mean, he's expressing his view. But to be honest, when you started the other day, I said, and this is what we do. We are not helpful to one another. We are not helpful to another. And one of the things I found on this,
I don't have a thick skin, but when I'm passionate about something, that's how I speak about it. And that's what some of you people do. When you are a friend to work together with trouble, you stand by some mistake or some mistake, but you stand by them.
Okay, let's leave it there.
That's what
honestly, I try to process this. To be honest, I mean, we are here, friends, a family. I think their action is a complete hypocrisy at the higher level. First, they disrespected all of us.
Disagreement. That is the key word. Disagreement.
Yeah, I don't know until they can break that down. What is it? It doesn't make sense. What I'm saying, when this whole thing happens, okay, we all are concerned. Nobody want to see anybody getting into something. But what is good to people to be remorseful of their actions? That did not come from him as the head of the institution. They are there as a panelist, contributor, friend to this guy. None of them even staying in the gap to even talk about it. So when I saw him appearing, my very first instinct was, yes, okay, the case is in court. But to say, well, the network or he as a head was going through tough time, and whatever happening on the surface, it is why it is, but the network will go on. And the group, the people, and other than nobody said anything. He said, "I want to speak at a later date." Today, they are not. I don't know whether that letter is being we can argue on that because they're yet to validate it, but their actions suggest something. But we'll wait and see. But in the meanwhile, African Star newspaper has reported that they're going to be going to court on the 10th. So we will wait and see what happens until they can confirm that. Ladies, guys, thank you so much for your time this evening. Pa George, Prince, thank you for stopping over. Keta, thank you so much for stopping over. And
Keta, you be hiding your face. You don't want your face to show. Why you don't let yourself up? You defending CDC. Why you hiding?
For the again. Hey, George.
I wonder he got some cool blood in him.
No, you realize of Pa George. They play Pa George right now. They go 30% from 7% to 3%. So
No problem.
Oh,
No problem.
Baba.
Yup.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, guys. To our many viewers, listeners, we want to thank you so much for your time this evening. That does it. I'm Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberia Public Radio 10 LPR-TV. By God's willing, same time, same network, we're going to be back here. And one of our callers was asking why we do not have a panelist from Liberia. Yeah, we do, but because we are working on the time, coming on 8 o'clock here is almost like a 1 o'clock in the morning. We are transitioning. We are trying to move to a different place. So it's been a little while now. We're still trying to get our own Jaffe. For those of you who are being on this network, and that's what I told the guy, and that's what all of us working up are about to do it the right way. Not that we don't want money, not that we can't ask you for money, but I made it crystal clear before we ask for money, we ourselves must set an example. There must be a reason, justifiable reason for us to ask for money. I'm not going to be a guy who wants to get married and then he call family meeting. Where you get? Nothing. You get a ring? Nothing. You not pay for the hall? Nothing. Not even a DJ. He doesn't even have a suit. How the hell are you going to get married? So we're not going to do that. We are working on gradually raising the money among ourselves to get the place that we want to transition. When we get there now, then we can come here. Okay, all our correspondents, other places, we need to get them ready. We need to have that. If you have a $5, $10, then you can help us because it's a sacrifice. And all of these guys, we don't have the money. We're not paying these contributors. They come here 2 hours, we sit. Guys in Liberia, we got to think about it. And that's what happened. Too much of free services lead into pain. And that's not even a justification for people to do things to get them to do things that are bad. That's not worth doing. But we have to support institutions. We decided not to throw ourselves into the pocket of any politicians or any actor so that they will have influence on this one. Because there's no way that I will not say something. The only way you become to get a tight lip and tongue tie is when somebody gave you something. They can give, but when they give, we tell you it's clear cut. We try to walk that kind of fine line, and with more at the start of the National Public Radio, we ourselves get our own $5, $10. Like in my own state here, every Monday or every other Monday, NPR, they have a national, they do what a fundraiser, people who follow them, their program, $5, $10, $2, whatever you have. We will get that eventually. But I told them we got to take the lead before people can come. We are not going to just ask people when we have not started anything for people to see the worth dent giving their fund. Other than that, we'll do what we are doing. And we are not in a maritime with anybody who want to do it at the proper timing. Until then, guys, thank you so much for your time as usual, for being here. But trust me, our guys in Liberia, a couple of stations reached out to us. In fact, Sky FM, I had a program that every Sunday, but because of the time, it's kind of like difficult. And so we are still working out on that to see whether we can tweak that time as well. Too much of drama is unfolding. We have no time to add up to already the political satire that is going on in the country. So we need to get to the substance, and we want to force these politicians so that we'll drive the narrative. We've got to take this narrative out of their hands. They do not want us to talk on the issues. This is why every other day they create a dramatic scene, and now we shift in that direction because we have to talk about it. So we need to take charge of the conversation so that Liberian people will see the alternative in able to make informed decision. By this time, we're supposed to know where their platforms, how they intend to govern. You know, we want to know your educational plan, their infrastructure, agriculture, and all of that to start going into who are their policies advisor, economic advisor, who are their communication people. But you see multiple people speaking for them. That simply shows that there is no specific agenda. And so we need to compel them to have this conversation. We don't want to have a situation where we say, knowing what I know now, we better know it now. We do not want to have a guess game and even create another surprise on the Liberian people. So the Joseph Boyka, the Benedict Cummings, the president, he's an equipment. So there is a line, there's a message way to say, well, I still have to hold on. The Mandela coup and all of them. We need to know the direction. The young generations, these thousands of people that are chanting, dancing in the street. What is the rehabilitation process for them? What is their plan in terms of having vocational institutions to keep people to be occupied instead of just get them all over the place? How do they intend? How will they manage them? When Cummings becomes president, when Boyka becomes president, are they going to increase the size of governments like in the case of CDC? These people are chanting, dancing all day, 24/7. There is something inside for them. Will you just dive into what is their future? How are you going to integrate them? How are they going to fit into the process? They need to be asking this question. We need to know where Helen Johnson Sirleaf, the Unity Party, and which the ambassador needs to answer that question. Where do the international community put millions of dollars with the rehabilitation process? How many folks were rehabilitated? We don't know. Senators, lawmakers, they have rehabilitation institutions. Those groups would not be supported by the international community because they are on a short-term and political projects. They're not national projects. I know there used to be a National Rehabilitation Commission, Catherine Remill's Rehabilitation Center down to go into Rawafi with it. It used to be there. Is it still alive? Certainly not. Why is it not being revisited to have these people treated, counseling to be provided? Nobody talks about it. They are not having it in their agenda. We do not know their agenda. We do not know their vision for the country. They're just only telling us they will create jobs. How are you going to create the job? How? How? That's what we need to know. Security is the issue. We need to know people who will start speaking for them when it comes to security. We want to know the kind of police commissioner that you will appoint as to how they're going to stabilize the country, that people will sleep sound. It's not just all about to critique the government. You have to put a concrete plan in place so that people will begin to have a revision to say, oh, okay, I think we can work with this. And when they are doing the same thing, you take one Buku man from another camp, you bring another crocodile. It's the same thing. So where are we heading as a people, as a country, and as a nation? They do not want you to know this conversation. And this is why they are deploying their people in positions and having these sort of soundbite, preaching falsehoods, subliminal messages. We shouldn't accept that. It's about the country, and we just need to speak all. Until then, folks, it's 10:36 Eastern Standard Time. Have a pleasant evening.
Your money long, don't even want to see you. At your job side, they call you good for nothing. I say in your family, they call you useless. But one day, Jesus will make you useful. So let it go. For how long will you hold? How long will you hold? You've been holding on for too long now. You are holding on and making Jesus to run low. So let it go. It is painful, let it go. Oh yeah, mama, let it go. Let Jesus take. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Oh, let it go. Let it go. Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go, man. Oh yes,
All right, folks, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time, please follow us. Follow our Facebook page, Liberia Public Radio. It's on the Facebook. YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and you'll be able to get a notification whenever we are on. Also, send us your suggestions, your comments. Trust me, we go back and read all of your comments, and that helps us to enhance our broadcasting. Your comments, your tweet, the civility that is maintained on this network at all times is exactly what we want. Persuasion, dialogue, conference, talking, whoever you support, it's up to your choice. But your argument in supporting that person, that's exactly what we want. And we want civility at all times. Until then, if you are here for your first time, we say thank you so much for chipping in, and hopefully this is not your last time on this network. We don't necessarily talk what you want to hear, unfortunately, but we discuss things that we feel that you need to know. And you have the right to critique us, our talking point, to fact check us, and come back and tell us what will go wrong, and we will apologize. Until then, have a pleasant event, and thank you for being part of tonight's program. I am Alfonso Z, and so have a pleasant event. Bye-bye.